Assalamu alaikum. I am Tamara Gray. Welcome back to the series We Are Khadija. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing remembrance over forgetting, because that is what this series is really about. Not nostalgia, not biography, reclamation. We Are Khadija, a journey through the lives of women who did not merely witness civilization, who did not merely witness Islamic civilization, but built it. So I want to begin the way we always do, with the question that reaches backward and inward. Who is the Khadija in your life? And for whom are you a Khadija? Who taught you that faith can be intelligent? Who showed you that devotion can be disciplined? Who believed that love of God requires work? Like Sayyida Khadija before her, the woman we remember today invested everything she had, mind, heart, and soul, into the service of Allah Azza wa Jal. And as always, today we hold close to our hearts, we are Khadija. What if worship was not only something you felt, but something you studied? What if the love of Allah Azza wa Jal required not less thinking, but more? And what if one of the most prolific religious scholars of her time was a woman? Aisha al-Ba'yuniyya lived in the 15th to 16th century Damascus, an intellectual capital of the Muslim world. This was a world of madrasas, legal debates, Sufi zawiyas, and encyclopedic scholarship. A world where religious authority was transmitted through chains of learning, authorship, and recognition. Women could study, but rarely were they remembered as authors. They could teach, but rarely were they cited as authorities. What was at stake was not access alone, but legacy. To be forgotten in this world was easy. To be preserved in its books was not. Aisha al-Ba'yuniyya, born around 1456, was born into the distinguished al-Ba'yuni family, part of a scholarly household renowned for legal and religious scholarship. Her father was a respected qadi, or judge, and teacher, and she received a rigorous education in Quran, Hadith, Fiqh, Arabic literature. She memorized the Quran as a child and developed deep literary and spiritual sensibilities. She studied with the notable scholars of her age, growing into her role as both a spiritual practitioner and a guide for others. She was shaped by key influences, including Ibn Arabi, Ibn al-Busiri, and Ibn al-Farid, all of whom informed the contours of her devotional thought and spiritual lexicon. And she wrote. She wrote, and her writing was preserved. And she did not write lightly. She authored more than 25 major works, not all of which are preserved, on theology, law, ethics, spirituality, poetry, and devotion. She wrote treatises on dhikr, manuals on the love of Allah, complex legal, spiritual syntheses that wove together the mind and the heart. Her most famous work, because it's translated, was The Principles of Tasawwuf. It is not an emotional mysticism. It is structured, rigorous, demanding. It insists that the love of Allah must be practiced, trained, and refined. The book outlines the path of spiritual realization with emphases on repentance, tawbah, sincerity, ikhlas, remembrance, dhikr, and mahabbah, divine love. This is not an accident. Aisha al-Ba'yuniyya refused the false choice between the sacred and the secular, between scholarship and spirituality, between law and love. In her later life, she and her son traveled to Cairo, where she continued her intellectual and spiritual engagements before returning to Damascus in 1517. During the journey, their caravan was attacked, and many of her writings were lost. a significant cultural and intellectual loss for all of us. She died soon after in 923 or 1517 in the Common Era, leaving behind a legacy celebrated in her own time and beyond. A 16th century biographer described her as one of the marvels of her age. Her works articulated deeply felt and richly conceptualized spirituality, rooted in the love of the Prophet ﷺ and of God, and they display both intellectual rigor and devotional intensity. Like Sayyida Khadija before her, she understood that faith must be resourced to survive. So she invested her education. She invested her voice. She invested her authorship. And in doing so, she ensured that devotion itself would not become shallow. Her work tells us something radical. That remembrance requires effort. That love requires discipline. That spirituality without structure does not endure. Like Sayyida Khadija radiallahu anha before her, Aisha al-Ba'ayuniya saw clearly what her time needed. Like Sayyida Khadija radiallahu anha before her, who invested her wealth so that Islam could stand, Aisha invested her intellect so it could deepen in the hearts of people. Different tools, same vision. This is what a Khadija looks like. A woman who does not shrink her mind to appear devout. A woman who knows that clarity is an act of worship. A woman who leaves behind texts, not just impressions. Like Khadija before her, she built infrastructure not out of stone, but out of meaning. And if you have ever studied seriously, if you have ever written, understanding the difficulty of that, and if you have ever believed that beauty and rigor belong together, then together we are Khadija. The survival of this legacy is not automatic. It requires translation. It requires teaching. It requires institutions willing to invest in women's scholarship as essential, not optional. And if this work matters to you, as I'm sure it does, I invite you to walk with us on this road. Support us as we bring the secular and the sacred together at the Rabata University. Support us at rabata.org/support. Become a monthly Khadija at rabata.org/the Khadija Collective. This is not about preserving the past. It is about securing the future. So I return to the question that anchors us every time. Who is the Khadija in your life? Who taught you that faith could be precise? Who modeled devotion as something you practice, not just feel, something you know, not just emote? And perhaps more importantly, where are you being asked to invest your mind, your craft, your discipline for something larger than yourself? Like Khadija before her, like Aisha al-Ba'ayuniya in her books and prayers. Together we are, and together we hope that we are Khadija. And this journey continues.